Hi, I'm sorry that we must have gotten messed up on Zoom or something like that, but I don't want to leave you just hanging. So I will do a brief video on what I would have done. I think the biggest problem you will have is finding too much stuff, so I'll show you ideas on how to narrow it down. I've de-identified the information that you sent, but it looks like the big one is we're looking at teen pregnancy prevention, but it's in the context of health education and promotion. That's a big deal. So that might be like education as a context. It might be public policy. It might be like health campaigns, health promotion campaigns, et cetera, et cetera. So we know our population is teens, teen or teens or teenagers. There might be other names for that, like adolescents or high school students. So one thing we can start out with is like figuring out what's the name of different things. Oh, I misspelled that. Adolescents. Okay. And then the next one is pregnancy. Pregnancy and prevention. And then maybe the contexts that we look in will be health education and promotion. So we can look in articles that are written from disciplines of maybe like communication, maybe like public policy, maybe people in education. Let me show you how I would do that. I'm going to give you 3 different databases to go through, how to narrow down search results, how to find the best stuff, and then you can write back and forth to me anytime you like. My email, I mean, you'll get it in this video anyway, because I'll be sending this to you, but write to me anytime. I'm delighted to help. So let's go to a database. From the library homepage, you can search in the library catalog, teen pregnancy prevention. You can just throw in keywords like Google, and it'll search in books and book chapters, but it's kind of all over the place. We want to focus on a very specific discipline. Oh, there's public policy. And we want to control oh, look at that, statistics of teen pregnancy. Well, maybe you do want to go into the catalog under books. But we got to be aware, some of these books, this is like 9 years old. How do we find newer stuff? Is what my game is. So the 3 databases that I'm going to show you are under this databases link. And I'm going to show you one related to education, and another one related to public policy, and then another one related to impact, where we can look for the greatest out of all the disciplines. So for the education, the database will be one that I will show you, and another one is public policy, and then impact, most important. If I'm missing on any of these, just write to me. I'm happy to help. But this is how I would start if we were going to talk over Zoom. So how do you find the education database? Because we want to specifically go in. Where are teens typically? They're in school. Depending on the country that you're looking at, school might be mandatory or they have to be there. So it's a natural fit for a campaign. And if you don't know the name of a database, you can go in by subject. So we have a College of Education, and our librarian says their favorite database is Education Full Text. So whatever discipline you go into, the one that shows up in yellow is the easiest one to get into, according to the librarian. And now, remember those keywords that we typed in? Let's go and put those in an advanced search. So even though this is EBSCO, and it might be familiar to you, this is specifically in education. So this is like primary school, kindergarten, middle school, elementary, college, high school, trade school, university, technical college. So it's catching all of those, but I think this one will catch it. I think we've really defined the population well. So when I'm looking for these things, these words, and I have the or in between, that means it's going to look for every article that has one instance of those. So if it doesn't have, if they describe it different ways. Pregnancy, that one's pretty straightforward. We don't need synonyms for that one, so we'll do that one here. Oh, but look at these. Here's all these other ones. But typically they talk about pregnancy prevention as that one thing. Pregnancy. They don't say prenatal prevention. And we'll do prevention. So for all of these, or intervention, reduction or minimize, we'll just do prevention. I think that's a pretty standard one. When you click search, it's looking through all of the education articles published in this database in the last 20 or 30 years. So we're going to get peer-reviewed, non-peer-reviewed, some that aren't really great, some that are good, some that have very specific populations. But it goes back to 1965. That's too old. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up in date. Let's come up to, I don't know, 2015, 2014. We'll do the last 10 years. If it gets too narrow, you can expand this way too. Let's see what that narrows us down to. Oh, took us down to 500. From there, we want ones that aren't just opinion-based, but they are peer-reviewed. So we know the methodology, how they gathered the data. So let's do scholarly peer-reviewed. Again, that narrows down. Hey, 473. Now, if it's still too narrow, if they're talking about pregnancy prevention, but it's not the main topic of the article, what we can do is say, well, I want it to be in the abstract, or I want it to be in the title. Let's have it be in the title, so not the population, but pregnancy prevention. Let's have that be in the title. So we know the most important thing about the article has to have those two words in it. Otherwise, it might be related to other different things. Does that go too narrow? Hey, 33. That's a good body of search to look in. So we're now down to the last 10 years. Evaluation of a pregnancy prevention program. This is really good. How do you get the full text? If it doesn't say full text, there's this Find It, View It button. You have to open it up and it'll look in another database. And sometimes you get the full text. Sometimes you get a link to other text. If you run stuck, email me. Don't spend a lot of time on this if you can't get full text for something. So under this yellow bar, it'll say, go to this database for full text. If you run stuck, you can also click request an article and get it for free. But if you get stuck, that's my job. I can help you with that. Okay, so we know that this was a good search, doing that in the title. What was our next database? Oh, public policy. Let me show you another database. You can do that same search, or you can change the keywords if you're looking at a specific prevention. So abstinence is one proposed prevention. I don't know if the data is good or not, but you could use abstinence as a keyword and get rid of all the other ones. So public policy database, we don't have a degree program in public policy. So you have to know a librarian who knows a public policy database. If you go into the letter P, the first one is PAIS. This is the best public policy database. It's amazing. So this will look at public policy for pregnancy intervention for adolescents all over the world. It might be Salt Lake City. We'll go to advanced search. It might be Thailand. Could be Tehran. Could be Rio de Janeiro. But this will be, again, we're looking at that peer-reviewed stuff. So let's do our same search. Some of these might not be in English. So if you are familiar with a non-English language, type it in there, because you can see here the languages right here. They have all sorts of scholarly articles from all over the world. The last database does too. Pregnancy and prevention. And I'm going to do that again where I look for the most important things in the document title. Let's do peer-reviewed. And let's do last 10 years, specific date range. 2013 to 2024. There's no articles in 2024, but that way I don't have to type in the date. Okay. So same keywords, same search limiters, but this time we're looking in public policy. Look at that. Where's this from? Oh, it's from Washington. So that's the United States. There's a specific program. USA. There's Hawaii. There's states. I'm trying to find another country, but maybe the United States is the only one that really cares about it so much. Washington, 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 Washington. Or maybe it's that language issue. So here's another place to go. One last database I want to show you. If you go to the letter S or the letter W, you'll find an impact or a citation-based database. I'll show you the one with the W. The one in S is called Scopus. The one in W is called Web of Science. They're both very, very similar in that you can search and you can see the number of times that something has been cited. And if something has been cited a lot, that means it has impact and it's more important than something that hasn't been cited at all. So if you get too many articles, this is how you would find the best ones. Or if you wanted to figure out which of the ones that you've got are the best. Either way. So I'm going to do prevention, pregnancy. Now I have to go back and get my huge description of the population. And on this one, you can do the title too. But this one, this database is searching, 70 million articles, and from all the disciplines. So this is looking at like civil engineering, this is looking at social sciences, it's looking at health sciences. We have to go in, I didn't do the date range. But you can see a prevalence of articles. Look like 99 and 98, people talked about it, and then not very long. Then 2005, it came up a lot. But here, there's a lot more. I don't know if that makes a difference, but you can see that there's people looking at what you're writing about. It looks like 2022, they wrote the most. I'm going to move my head. Okay, refine. This is so exciting. I want to know what the most important one is. I think abstinence didn't work out so well. It appeased specific populations. I don't want to exclude, I want to include. There we go. So I narrowed it down even farther. Okay, here's where it gets fun. Over here, sort by relevance. I want to sort by the number of times that something has been cited. So citations. Or you can go by usage. How many times something has been referenced in the last 180 days. Okay, out of these 200 articles, an article about malaria. So you'll have to use your prefrontal cortex and go, I don't think that's quite what I was looking for. But here we have Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program 2010-2015 Synthesis of Impact Findings. And you can see these 32 articles couldn't exist unless they cited this one. That means this is the best article, arguably. Historical context, systematic review, effectiveness of school-based programs, systematic review. This might be good. This might be what you're looking for. It looks like a lot of them are analyzing implementations, or they're analyzing hey, there we finally left the United States, South Africa. Parenting support. So you get the idea. All of these have this full text link on them too, where it'll do that same trick. If you run stuck on anything, my name is Dale. Contact me anytime, and I'd be delighted to help.